If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, holographist coach Christine McIver.
Well, welcome, my friends. I am so thrilled, a little hesitant, but very happy that you are here. I'm very, very grateful that you have chosen to listen in and chosen to lean into this conversation tonight, because I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster, a little raw, I think. I've been having one of those weeks, and I've learned that whatever is going on in my world, I am to bring it to the airwaves. I am to bring it to the TV show, because that's part of who I am. And that's a big part of what I do in the world. And I know that it contributes to some people, maybe many, many of you, but most importantly to me. And if you go back into my archives, you will find a show that I did quite a while ago called It's All About Me. And I believe that very, very much, that it is all about me and it is all about you. We, each and every one of us, came here in our lives to be something. Whatever that something is, we came here to create, to have an impact, to support, to contribute, to change the world. And I know that whatever's going on in my world, I'm to bring it here so that I can do that in my world and in others' world. So, hi, everyone. I'm Christine McIver. I am your host of the Inspired Choices show, a show that has been around since 2011. Like, oh my God, I'm in my 11th year. And I've been doing radio, podcasting, TV for many, many years now. And it never gets old. And it never gets boring. I don't know if I'm waiting to see if it does, but I do know that as these topics come to me, it's definitely something that I'm to bring forward. I desire many, many things. And one of the desires that I have and the hope that I have is that people will hear what is coming to me and coming through me and will contribute to them in their worlds, whether this is for you on a personal level or it's for you on a business level, whatever that is my hope, that what I create in the world does contribute. So, and I'm going to tell you, you might want to get your tissues out, because I've been feeling a little raw in the last couple of days and kind of feel like the tears are right at the edge, which is okay. Kind of yucky when you're doing a professional show, but you know what? We got to show up, right? We got to show up where we are and see what we can actually bring into the world when we're really being who we are 100%. So yeah, as my producer says, bring it, baby. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. So tonight, my friends, we're talking about, do you know your ripple? Easy statement, not an easy conception. Not an easy thing to actually create, and a very deep conversation tonight, where we're going to be looking at a lot of different pieces that have been coming through for tonight's show. So I am a strategic business coach. I'm a professionally trained coach. I have been a coach for more than 15 years now, doing what I do in the world. I originally worked in human resources for many, many years and transitioned into this area of expertise. I am a professional radio and TV personality, and I'm also the CEO, the founder and CEO of the Inspired Choices Network. I love to do business, and I love to bring other people's voices and brilliance to the world, to change the world as well. So these are some of the things that I do. If you're looking for support in any of those areas, if you'd like to know more, or you'd just like to have a conversation with me, every single person gets 30 minutes with me, no charge. Let's just have a conversation. Let's connect, and let's see what we can create in the world just by saying hello. So if you'd like to do that, please feel free to send me an email, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, or you can check out my website, inspiredchoices.ca. I would love to hear from you. So let's get into tonight's show. Do you know your ripple? Going through our lives and looking for what to do and what our purpose is and how to create a prosperous life is great. I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's not a bad thing to be doing at all. It really, really is great. But everything in life is bigger than that. What about the ripple? When you miss the review, when you do not pause and celebrate your accomplishments, and most importantly, your ripple, you actually create a harder journey. This life is not meant to be hard. It's not meant to. It's actually been created so that you can have a beautiful life. It's been created with so many choices. That's the one thing I can remember being a little girl, and I was raised in the church like many of us were, and I enjoyed going to church when I was younger. And I can remember that was the one definitive thing that we were told that each and every one of us had was choice. We all have choice. Now, we might have set up our lives in a way where it feels like we have no choice, but that's not actually true. Now, we're not going to get deeply into choice tonight, but knowing that you have the ability, the capacity, and most definitely the desire to make the choices that work for you. And those choices ultimately become your ripple. Everything, every single solitary thing is about the choice that you make, the choice that you think about, the choice that you speak about, the choice in the actions you take, or the actions you do not take, or the choice in the words that you do not say, or the work that you choose not to do, or the development, the challenge within yourself that you choose to do or not do. Every single thing comes down to choice. And so the ripple in your life is all about the choices, the many millions and millions and millions of choices that you make each and every day. My friends, if at this moment in time you're having a hard life, if you are suffering, if you are challenged, if you are broke, if you're hungry, if you're cold, if you're angry, if you're sad, if you just want to run away, like so many of us do want to run away at this time, because if you're listening, this is June the 9th, 2021. We're still in a hell of a mess here down on planet Earth. If you want to run away, if you're feeling any of the massive feelings that are happening, I want you to know that you can make one choice tonight that will begin to change where you are. You can make one choice. And one of my favorite choices to make whenever I'm in this place is to just be a little kinder to me. I am very impacted by the feelings of other people. I am someone who picks up on other people's emotions, and I can very much be like a sponge and start to really perceive the emotions of other people. And it can really knock me down when I'm perceiving that with other people. But when people come to me and people speak to me and they reach out for help, or they just pop in my mind and I reach out and I say, hey, how are you doing? And I know that when I thought of them, it was because, or why I thought of them was because there was something going on in their world that I was picking up on. And I reach out to them and I speak with them and we have a conversation, or we just text back and forth. I know that I'm very, very kind to them. And so on my tough days, on my climbing the hill days, on my feeling lower than low days, I choose to be kind to me as I would be kind to you. It's a tough one. And it's certainly not easy right now. my very good friend and colleague here on the network, Jen Wood, did a show today all about where is the love. And it really, really got me deep in my emotions. And everything she said on that show was so true about how I'm going to say it very succinctly what she was talking about, but it is an incredibly robust show that I would love every human being on planet Earth to listen to, because we need this. We need more love in the world. But what she was saying was, we all have opinions. We're going to have different opinions. Hello, you have a different fingerprint. You're going to have a different opinion. But we need to be kind to each other. We need to bring love forward no matter what anyone's choices are. And most especially now, this is critical. And it was interesting. I didn't know she was going to do that show today. And it was interesting because I did have this title and this show prepared for today. And it's interesting that her show was this morning and then mine's this evening, because one of the things that I've been thinking about is our ripple and the ripple that we have in the world. Will it include love? Will it include love? Will there be people in your world that when they think of you and they think of the impact that they brought you, will the words love be included in that? Will their experience of you be love? Will your experience of you include the word love, the experience of love? So there's so many things that we're going to talk about tonight. It's quite robust as well, and it's something that I deeply desire to gift to each and every one of you. This idea about your ripple. Most of us are going along in our lives, and we are trying to keep our head above water. We're trying to hit those targets and those goals. We are deeply trying to pay our bills, raise our children, continue to move forward, maybe take a vacation, have some fun once in a while, be healthy, do the right thing. Most of us are doing that. And we're not stopping, and we're not looking, first of all, at what we're actually choosing. We're not stopping and consciously evaluating. There's not enough of that going on. There's not enough of that for anyone. I don't care who you are. Looking at what you are choosing, looking at your choices, looking at the ripple in your own life of those choices, and celebrating those choices. Celebrating where you have been going, celebrating the direction and the place you are right here, right now. This action to pause and celebrate will impact your ripple greater than 10,000 more choices in your life. It will. And I really want to dive into what that is about and what the ripple is really, really all about. So my friends, we are up for our first break. I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to stay here. And I want you to tell me what's going on. You can join us in the chat room. Just come on over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can, of course, listen to us on the app. If you're listening live on the app, you can go to shows, go to the chat room at the very bottom and join us with your comments and your questions. I really want you to be with me tonight, and I really want you to lean into this conversation, whether you're choosing to let me know what's going on or not. I would really love to hear from you, or even perceive your energy in tonight's show, because together we really can make an amazing contribution in the world by discussing this very important topic. So you are listening to myself, your host, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices show on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. Welcome forward. Whatever it is that you enjoy hearing, I'm glad that you are here. So we are talking tonight about what I feel can be a very raw but very important topic. And we're talking about, what about the ripple? What about your ripple? Have you ever considered this? Have you ever looked at this? You know, a lot of people that I'm aware of, they look at, they think about working really hard. At least our parents' generation is working really hard to be able to leave a legacy for their children. Oftentimes, that legacy is what they're thinking about is money, being able to leave them money, being able to leave them something of a possession. There is nothing wrong with that at all. But do we need more possessions? Do we really need more possessions, especially when we are at adults? Yes, young children, if their parents should die when they're young, yes, they need things. But as an adult, with all the capacities of the world that's available, do we really need more possessions? Or do we really need something that impacts us deeply? Something that leads us, inspires us, motivates us? What is it that we really need to change the world? It is not by chance. It is not by chance that you are here. It's not by chance that I'm here. I can't give you all the reasons why I'm here. I can't give you all the reasons why anyone is here. But I can tell you it is not by chance that we are here, creating this day, this time together. All of the people in the world, every single one of us, it's my belief that every single one of us came here to create. That's a capacity that we have to make choices to create this world, our world. Yes, it is all about you, but it's all also about you and what you're choosing that impacts everyone in the world. And that's an incredibly important responsibility, and one that I take very seriously, and I desire for others to take seriously as well. Now, your ripple may be someone who brings joy to other people's lives, who brings laughter. That's an important thing to be bringing to people's lives, and to have that ripple in the world that you brought joy is certainly an honorable thing to have. But you know, many of us, as I was beginning to say in the first segment, many of us are thinking about the possessions, thinking about the money, thinking about, what we're doing every day, our checklists. And trust me, I'm a checklist girl. I got a long list of to-dos and I got checks that I love to be able to knock off my plate. But at the same time, as I'm making those choices, I'm thinking about the impact of these choices that I am making. I am thinking about the ripple that I am making in my life and the ripple that I'm making in other people's lives. One of the things that I really encourage you to consider doing, if this is a topic that's really something that you've wanted to consider, I want to talk about reverse engineering. I want to talk about reverse engineering. I want to talk about the things that you desire to have in your life. Maybe the things that you desire to have in your world this year. So as a strategic business coach, that's one of the things that I do with my clients is I look at where do you want to be a year from now in your business? And I mean, we dive deep, we break it down in month to month to month action. So we reverse engineer. We look at where you want to be, and then we lay out a plan. It's an engineering plan, right? It's your business. So we reverse engineer it. All right. And anybody that has a dream, they can perceive the dream, they can perceive the book, they can perceive the architecture of what they want. And then they set about figuring out how to build it. Right? That's reverse engineering. You don't just, gather together a bunch of wood and start building something and see what shows up, right? Most of us are reverse engineering our desires and our dreams. And I am asking you, I'm inviting you, I'm really imploring you to reverse engineer your ripple. Reverse engineer your ripple and do it one day at a time. Do it one day at a time. You've heard some of the things that I'm going to say said differently at different times by different people in different organizations. Some of these things are extremely important to say again. But when you look in the mirror at the end of the day, will you be able to say, you did good, McIver? You did good. These are the things that are on my heart each and every day. I think about this. I think about the thoughts that I allowed and I entertained too long or not long enough. I think about the words that I allowed to come out of my mouth that maybe hurt someone or maybe inspired someone. I think about the posts that I put out or the comments that I put on someone's post. I think about the actions that I took in my own life. Was I kind to my body today? Did I feed my body something that allowed it to feel good, to be happy? Did I drink my water? Did I have my vegetables? Did I move my body? Did I tell someone that I love them? Can you say that you look at your life, that you really look at your life and you look yourself in the eyes each and every day and you can say, I did good, McIver? McIver is my last name if you're not sure what I'm saying. Do I remember every day? No. I don't remember every day, but I remember lots of days. I celebrate my accomplishments. I celebrate the contribution that I'm in my own life, and I celebrate the accomplishments of when I contribute in other people's lives, not from an arrogant space, but from a space of acknowledging that I made a choice. And I made a choice that made a difference, because you see, that is the fuel that fills my heart, especially especially in these times, especially when there's tough things going on, when people are being unkind and mean and violent, when people are forgetting that in front of them is another person who bleeds the same way they bleed. I didn't know I was going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about this. I might get a lot of terrible mail, but okay. There was a very violent act that occurred this past weekend, just a couple of hours from where I live. There were family members walking out for their Sunday evening walk like they did so many times. And someone chose to get in a truck and drive them over and killed four of the 5 people. They were a family, bringing no harm to anyone. This has been, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but it looks like this is a hate crime. It looks like this is something that might even be deemed as a terrorist act. And it's awful. I don't know anyone that it wouldn't bring to tears just hearing about this. It's frightening because it could have been me out for my walk. It could have been anyone out for their walk. And someone that doesn't agree could have made that choice. And that's terrible. That is terrible. And then today I was on social media and someone actually posted the image of the person that was driving that truck that made that choice. And yes, it was a terrible, awful, some would say unforgivable thing that someone chose to do. Maybe that's what someone would say. I've been moved by some family members of their family members who've had people killed, and they have forgiven that person right in front of them. Some religions believe that forgiveness is crucial. Everyone has their beliefs about this. And honestly, I honor how you feel. And I honor how this is impacting you. But I think about this young man, and I think he was a baby one day. He was a baby that came into this world that didn't think about, as he was just newly in his body, I'm sure that he wasn't thinking about how he was going to kill people one day. He has definitely left a ripple. Some would say an awful ripple. But I'm curious about the ripples that he was perceiving with other people, how other people were impacting him. And we cannot lay this completely at the feet of his family because they did not live in isolation away from the entire world. We live in a society where we are globally connected. It means nothing to pick up the phone and call across the world now. It means to get news of something that happened 5 minutes ago, million miles away is normal, right? We can find out about things like instantaneously. It's incredible. And it's also where the responsibility lies in my mind of how we impact each other and the ripple that we are leaving with each other. As simply as getting angry and allowing our children to watch us be angry at someone and spew violent words towards them is your ripple that day. And it impacts that child. It impacts the people that are reading your posts. It impacts the people that are watching you, listening to you. You have a responsibility. But you have a responsibility to you. Why? Why, oh, why, oh, why are we not reaching to create more joy in our lives by the ripple we are leaving in our own lives every day? What I choose today will be the ripple for my day tomorrow. What you choose today will be the ripple for all of your tomorrows. What will your ripple be? What basket are you laying down today that you want to pick up tomorrow? What is it that you want to be able to say? What is it you want to be able to experience and take forward? What choices are you making that are impacting you so much so that you're determined to make a different choice? It's okay if you make a screwed up choice. It's okay if you screw up. Just keep choosing. Be willing to examine your ripple. Be willing to look at your ripple with honest eyes. And if you don't say it to anybody else, say it to yourself. I screwed up. I screwed up. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm feeling anger. What does that mean? I'm feeling regret. I'm feeling pain by my choice. Are you going to own your choice? Are you going to celebrate your choice? Even when you screw up, when you own it, please celebrate that you owned it. Because that is the fuel, my friends. That is the fuel for your ripple. You get to continue to carve out your ripple. And for those out there that are waiting in judgment and do not see your continual evolution and your better choices again and again, and they keep looking back to your old choices, just bless them and move on. Send them love and move on. Don't engage. Keep choosing for you. Don't engage. I've seen this so many times. I can remember, oh my gosh, probably 35, 40 years ago. I remember pardon me, hold on one second. I can remember my parents had come home from a conference. It was an AA conference. My father was in AA for many years. And I can remember they came home from a conference and they were telling us who had spoken and kind of a little bit about their story, although it was private. It was these conferences were open and these people were being public and choosing to be public. I can remember them talking about this gentleman who spoke and about his story and how absolutely amazing it was. And he had been in AA for more than 30 years, and the kindness and the contribution that he was making to people who were struggling, and how he was there and how he guided and inspired people again and again and again. It was, it brought tears to my eyes hearing it. And then they concluded with, but because he screwed up so bad when he was drinking, his family won't forgive him. I've thought about that over the years a lot. Who loses? Who loses when someone continues to look back at the previous version of who you're choosing to be today? It's those people. But so do you. If you keep looking back at the previous version of who you were, the person who made the old choices, if you continue to do that, you lose out on the brilliant person that looks at you in that mirror every day. You are an important contribution in this world, but you have got to see your ripple each day. You've got to see that it's more than about money. It's more than about possessions. It's who you choose to speak to, how you speak to them, and how you acknowledge yourself and those around you? What will people say about you? What will the memory be of you? We're well past our break, but we're going to jump right now to our second break. When we get back, I've got more things to share, imagine. Stick around, my friends. I'd love to hear from you. Again, you're listening to Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices Show on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you ready to have pleasure with your business? Yes, I said pleasure with your business. The Pleasure of Business a la carte will surprise you with topics like meet yourself in the boardroom, money, services, and you. Expand your visibility. The pleasure of communication. The pleasure of Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Christine McIver has so much pleasure with business and loves teaching all things business. Beginning a new business? Desiring to expand a current business? Or looking to resurrect a business that has been dormant? This program will get you fired up and bring more pleasure than you have ever imagined. Exhausted with your excuses for not creating a phenomenal business? Join now for all the pleasure with business. Pleasure of Business a la carte gives you total choice for what you desire and what your business requires. That's 24 weeks of different topics to choose from with weekly calls, audio and video recordings, and PDFs. This class will have you dive right in and use tools to create the business that has been speaking to you. Go to inspiredchoices.ca for full details or join the Facebook page Pleasure o' Business a la carte. Now is the time for you and your business.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Well, my friends, here we are. We are 3/4 of the way through tonight's show. And if you're just joining us, if you're just listening in, tonight we're talking about, do you know your ripple? We've been talking about how our life is not meant to be hard. It's actually been created for us to have a beautiful life. And if you don't know that for sure, go outside and look around. Go outside and look at the beauty in nature. Go outside at night and look up and look at the stars. Wake up before the sun comes up and watch the sunrise. Be peaceful, be quiet in those moments, and it will speak very loudly to you that it is absolutely beautiful. And that's what's here for us as well, is if we choose it. We talked about the ripple in your life is all about your choices, the many, many millions of choices we make each and every day. We talked about how the possessions, we really need more possessions. Do we really need more possessions? Or do we need something that impacts us greatly? Have you thought about the ripple? Have you thought about what you will be known for? This is not about what you do to make a living. This is what you do for humanity. And you're included in this. You see, if you live in what's the word? If you live in a silo all by yourself, you can still make a ripple in your life. You can still make an impact in your life with the words that you're using, with the way that you treat yourself, with the thoughts that you are having. Your thoughts are programmed in your mind. You can change the thoughts. You can change them. One of my current favorite books is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I'm telling you, my friends, it's absolutely such an impactful book. I encourage you. I love it in audio, and I really encourage you to go look at that. If you're struggling with the repeat in your brain, if you're struggling with the repeat of your life, it's a phenomenal, phenomenal book for that. How you are treating those around you will show up in the way that you treat yourself. And that will be your ripple. So at the end of your life, at the end of each year, I think about this. What will I feel around my choices at the end of this year? What will I feel about my choices, on those big birthdays? What will I feel about my choices at the end of my life? What do I want to have experienced? What's the difference that I want to make in the world and in my life? I'm not talking about needing to be a humanitarian and go out there and serve, third world countries. I'm not talking about being some evangelist on TV. I'm not talking about being some famous person. I'm talking about each and every one of us owning our choices and owning the outcome, and doing that by reverse engineering now in our choices today. We were talking about that young man who, for whatever reason, chose to run down those 4 human beings. Think about what would have had to have happened in his world to bring him to that. And if he was fed this, he was fed it by other people. So what had to have happened in their lives to have had them feed that young man these ideas, these choices? What is happening in the world that people are making these choices in their minds? And this is the ripple that they are creating. Why? Someone does not create violence and hate because they're happy. Oftentimes people are making crazy ass choices because they're afraid, because they're in fear, because they're devastatingly sad, because they don't know what to do. Be the fucking ripple for other people to watch you. I'm mad and I'm sad and I'm upset because together we have the power to make a difference and we're not choosing it. Get fucking serious about this, my friends. Yes, I believe that we come back again and again, but you don't have a goddamn do-over in this fucking life. That young man will be in jail for the rest of his life. He doesn't get a do-over. The impact in his family, anybody that even has that same last spelling of his name, that's going to impact them. Truth be told, I went and looked up this young man and looked up someone that I knew that I thought was the same spelling as this young man that I went to high school with. There's one letter difference. Sounds exactly the same. Because why did I look it up? Because I was going to reach out to the person that I knew and extend a hand of support. What are you doing? What are you doing in your life? Stop being the victim of your life. Dust yourself off. If you need help, if you are struggling, put your hand up. There are amazing people out here that will support you getting into a better place emotionally. There are people that have ideas. There are people that are looking to hire people. There are people that are looking to contribute to people. Put up your hand. Make another choice. Leave the past behind you. But don't leave it just swinging in the wind. Pin it down by the new choices that you're going to make today. I know I'm getting incredibly intense. I know that I can be pretty over the top sometimes, but I am full of so much emotion right now. I am so full of people. I'm full of frustration because people are throwing away the gift that we have. And the gift of choice is what I'm talking about. You're not a victim. You are not a victim. We give way too much focus and way too much, energy to people that act as a victim. You're not a victim if you don't have money. You have the circumstance of not having money. You're not a victim if you're heartbroken. You have the circumstance of heartbroken. You can make another choice. The people, these 4 amazing human beings that are no longer in their body, they were a victim of that man's choice. Yes. But most people on the planet there that are playing the victim role, you're not a victim. You're part of a circumstance, but you can make another choice. So what choice are you going to make? Do you really want to feel the same way you're feeling right now? Do you want to feel that way tomorrow? January 1st, 2022. Do you want to say, good job? You did a good job this year, McIver. You did a good job. It was awesome. If I leave the planet today, and I'm not planning on it, but if I do, I know I've made an impact. Am I pleased with all of my choices? No. But lots of those choices have contributed to the person that I am today, and they are contributing to my ripple now. I'm okay if I leave today, because I know that there's at least one person in the world that will say, she contributed to me. She made a difference in my life. I watched her grow and expand. She inspired me. That's my ripple. To inspire you. That's what I desire. That's my reverse engineering. Did I inspire someone today to make a better choice? Did I show someone kindness today? This is an emotional one, my friends, and it's so important. It's an important one. We're going to take our last break of the show, and I'm going to compose myself, And when we get back, we're going to wrap this up. And I do sure hope that you come back. Hang in, my friends. We'll be right back. This is Christine McIver on Inspired Choices on the Inspired Choices radio show. Stick around, my friends.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Well, my friends, it's been a wild ride. This show has gone much faster than I anticipated, and it's been a very emotional one. And I think that it is okay. I think it's important for the things that have come to me that we're asking to come through me. They're important. You're important. Your choices are important. What you believe, that's not my business. But the choices that you make and the impact of those choices, they will be someone's business. Those around you, the ripple that you leave each day, each month, each year, and in your entire lifetime, they matter. And the people that you are inspiring, the people that you are motivating, the people that you are leading by example, the leader you're choosing to be in your life is important. And I'm asking you to really please look at this. Look at how important this is. Break this down day by day. So at the end of your life, you can look in the mirror and say, you done good, McIver. I really do hope that you take this with you as you move forward in your life. And I really do hope that you consider the amazingness that you are and how you can make such a huge difference in the world by those choices. Next week, my friends, we're going to have a show all about business. It's called What Have You Decided About Your Business? And again, we're going to be talking about choices, but we're going to also be talking about your mindset and how your mindset can really impact your business. Until then, my friends, I want you to always remember that you can make another choice. Yesterday does not have to be your tomorrow's. Today can be something amazing, even if you only have a couple hours left of this day. Make a choice that makes a difference. Until next week, my friends, take good care. Take care of you. Let's change the world, shall we? Bye for now.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.